have an amputated leg. So they wanted to take pain pills the rest of my life. When we voted for it, one of those things we just decided that we didn't want to be a couple of years down the road wishing we would have done something.
Voted, I decided I was going to try to get my foot in the door.
Years before this ever even became a thing, I wanted to work with medical marijuana. I just had to wait for the door to be opened, and it opened, and here we are. Well, I grew up here my whole life pretty much, and I would have never thought that the place I used to eat steak in would be selling medical marijuana. Drumright's a town that you wouldn't have thought that this would happen, but it has definitely been beneficial.
Like we have this one lady, her husband used to wheel her in a wheelchair, and a few weeks later, after using some of the products, she walked in with a walker, and now she just walks in and grabs her stuff and walks out.
We have customers that are 75, 80 years old. We had a guy that was coming here when we first opened the doors. His hands didn't work. He wasn't even supposed to live, and he's still our patient to this day.
And it's amazing. It's just seeing some of our customers, like he said, you know, they'll come in here and they look like they're on the brink of death, and a few weeks later they come in here on their own. They're not gray or blue in the face.
You start to realize when you see the people that really need it, when you see that, it changes things. When you know, when people come in and go, hey, you guys saved my life.
There are medical benefits to it, and it's a good feeling to watch these people thrive off of it, for sure. It would be the day of 420, and we just had, you know, a huge get-together here, and just to see the town of Drumright kind of come together when Drumright's over the years kind of fallen apart with coming together.
Oklahoma's made like $40-some million. There ain't nothing paying Oklahoma $40-some million. 200,000 licensed patients in the state of Oklahoma. Who would have figured that? We get a lot of people from out of town, but you got to realize that out of that 10,200 cars that drive by, less than 1% is going to have a medical card. In the future, if it ever goes recreational, that means 10,200 cars drive by a day, which are all potential customers. But today, less than 1% of those cars driving by, I would believe, has a medical card.
At least in Drumright, we are an oil town, and any business that is not oil, anything that allows us to diversify is really helpful, because it's very tricky if you're a town with really only one industry. So we're almost completely reliant on sales tax. So if a dispensary comes in and sells product and generates sales tax, that's a plus. So you have buildings that are now occupied that weren't, and you have sales taxes generated that weren't. And then, of course, you have jobs. So in my book, 3 pretty big positive things. Story that Oklahoma is the only state in the union that cities don't get a property tax to run. Any other health options that people have is good. I mean, not everything works for everybody. So the more options people have for their own care, the better. As we have a processor coming to town, we possibly have 2 growers coming to town. As you look at this throughout the state, it goes way beyond dispensaries. There's almost twice as many growers as dispensaries. There's 1,000 processors out there. It's pretty big, I would think, if you're looking just beyond the dispensary. We have one processor. They're already approved. They're at our 4-way stop where highways 99, 33, and 16 come together. They've already been approved. They're already on the state list. And we have a grower that is going to be on our next commission meeting. And then we have another grower who should close on their building by the end of this month. And it's in the industrial park, and it's already zoned correctly. So with any luck, in a month from now, we could have 2 growers along with our 1 processor and 2 dispensaries. Anything that is a non-oil-based industry that diversifies your economy is a good thing.